WrestleMania 9. It was the big WWF event that was going to take place in a parking lot. That's right, because for some reason in 1993, Vince McMahon thought, let's build a stadium in a Las Vegas parking lot and have WrestleMania 9 be located there. So today, we're going to look back at the history of WrestleMania 9. Of course, WrestleMania 9 was in 1993. And as you can see here by the WWF WrestleMania 9 program, we had two big main event matches. The tag team titles with Money Incorporated against Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, the Mega Maniacs, with Jimmy Hart in their corner. And of course, Yokozuna challenging Bret Hitman Hart for the WWF title. But to get there, we need to see how it all happened. In July 1993, don't jerk us around, Hulk. Are you back or not? Now, I know this is a little bit later, past WrestleMania, but don't forget, these magazines came out way ahead with the months than actually when they came out, right? But they're emphasizing, is Hulkster going to be coming back or not? Is he making a return to the WWF, or is he done wrestling altogether? Well, when Hulk was gone, Bret Hitman Hart took over as the champion. As you can see here in this edition of The Wrestler from February 1993, Bret's five most biggest opponents to wrestle here would have been The Undertaker, Davey Boy Smith, Razor Ramon, Ric Flair, and Terry Taylor. Terrific Terry Taylor makes the cut, okay. But no mention at all about this man right here. Yokozuna, in the April 1993 edition of the WWF magazine, says the behemoth is WrestleMania bound. That's right, Yokozuna won the 1993 Royal Rumble, coming in, I believe, at number 27, and last eliminating the Macho Man Randy Savage to take the spot as the main event challenger at WrestleMania 9 for Bret Hitman Hart. The Wrestler, May 1993. Will Yokozuna make his biggest splash at WrestleMania? So even the Stanley Weston magazines are getting behind this Yokozuna fad, this craze, this push that the WWF is giving to this 505-pound Samoan who hails from Japan. I believe as time went on, 505 pounds became 550 pounds, though, going into WrestleMania 9. Inside Wrestling, May 1993, an exclusive WrestleMania 9 match analysis, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna, Mr. Perfect versus Lex Luger, and Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker. Plus, the Head Shrinkers versus the Steiners as well. Yes, WrestleMania 9 was an interesting WrestleMania. A lot of interesting matches like those four right there taking place. And it's nothing to really look back at now and be like, man, I really want to see that event. But at the time, being a 12-year-old kid, I thought WrestleMania 9 looked pretty good on paper. WWF Magazine, June 1993. Hulk Hogan wins the gold in WrestleMania. Shocker. Hulkamania rules for the fifth time. That's right. How did Hulk Hogan win the title when he wasn't even competing for it at WrestleMania 9? Well, it's simple. Hulk Hogan came down to aid Bret Hitman Hart, who'd got blinded by Mr. Fuji's salt and got pinned by Yokozuna because of that, and tried to take Bret back to the dressing room where Mr. Fuji and Yokozuna issued the open challenge to the Hulkster right then and there. Bret told Hulkster to go, and Hulk went in and defeated Yokozuna in like under 2 minutes to become the new WWF champion for the fifth time. Now, personally, looking back there, I honestly think that they should have had Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake win the tag titles at WrestleMania 9. Because at that time, the WWF could have ran two house show loops. On one hand, you have a main event with Bret Hart versus Yokozuna on one show for the WWF title. And on the other hand, on another show that same night, you could have Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake defending the tag titles against the former champions, Money Incorporated. But that didn't happen. Instead, the Hulkster takes the title. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, August 1993. WrestleMania 9, the real winners and losers for the Supercards 93. The other big show on this one was WCW Takes Manhattan when they did a show in New York, a house show, and it was like their first time being like in New York or something and doing a show like that. So that was kind of the big deal there. But the real talk was WrestleMania 9 for this one. And if you want to see WrestleMania 9 photos from Stanley Weston, this is probably the best magazine to get. Wrestle America, July 1993. Hulk Hogan stuns the world. 5-time champ. Even Wrestle America is picking the story up and putting it on their cover as well. Because this is kind of shocking. I mean, no one thought Hogan would even be back at WrestleMania 9, let alone be WWF champion. Wrestling 93 Rule Breaker, summer 1993. Hulk Hogan's 5th title reign, a black eye for wrestling. Well, the writers in this magazine, they weren't pulling any punches, were they? They just straight up said, this is not good for wrestling. And you know what? At the time, a lot of the wrestling fans agreed. We were pretty heavy into Bret Hitman Hart being our champion and going that route with the WWF. Vince putting the strap on Hogan in 1993 was like a throwback that no one wanted at that time. We wanted to move forward. We wanted something different. And Vince said, no, you don't. Here's Hulk Hogan. And fans didn't want that. We wanted Bret. We wanted Shawn Michaels. We wanted Razor Ramon. Hell, we even wanted Lex Luger at SummerSlam, didn't we? But no, Hulk Hogan is what we got. The title reign only lasted a few months, though, of course. Because Hulk Hogan, he won it, but can he defend it? And we would soon find out at the King of the Ring that he cannot defend it. Because the Hulkster's title reign came to an abrupt end. Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna. The Hulkster faces his biggest challenge ever. That is the ending I'm talking about. King of the Ring 1993. I was ecstatic when this pay-per-view happened. I was 12 years old, and I used to hate having to wait from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. That was a long stretch when you were a kid. And on top of that, you knew SummerSlam was happening right before going back to school. So you really didn't want to have that pay-per-view happen. You knew school was right around the corner. But King of the Ring, that was in June. That was the end of school. That's kind of exciting. And who doesn't love a good tournament, right? And what a tournament it was. We got to see Bret Hitman Hart. He defeated Razor Ramon in the first round, defeated Mr. Perfect in the second round, and then defeated the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, in the finals to win the 1993 King of the Ring tournament. You had Shawn Michaels and Crush do an amazing match for the Intercontinental title. And you had a tag match with the Smoking Guns and the Steiner Brothers against Money Incorporated and the Head Shrinkers, which probably should have just been a tag title match if you ask me, between the Steiner Brothers and Money Inc. That would have worked better. But the big match was the championship match between Yokozuna and Hulk Hogan. And Yokozuna was victorious after some photographer's flash went off like fire in the Hulkster's face. Yoko got the pin, 1, 2, 3, and we had a new WWF champion in Yokozuna. July 1993 WWF Magazine. Hogan versus Hart. Should these men battle to answer the question, who really won the belt at WrestleMania 9? A World Wrestling Federation magazine exclusive. All right, so there's the rumors, the talk. It's been said on the internet for years. Was Hulk Hogan going to wrestle Bret Hitman Hart at SummerSlam? And was it going to be for the WWF Championship? Well, clearly it wouldn't have been for the title. Hogan lost it to Yokozuna at King of the Ring. So would it just been a one-on-one match? Probably not. I don't think Vince McMahon would have actually had Hogan and Bret happen in 1993. For the simple reason, Hogan would have gotten booed just ridiculously. Think about it. No one wanted to cheer Hogan at the time. No one. Bret Hitman Hart was getting cheers from everyone and anyone. So Bret would have definitely out-cheered the Hulkster in 1993. So it's probably a good idea that Vince McMahon didn't go through and have that match take place. The Wrestler, June 1993, Hulk Hogan, I could beat Bret Hart with my eyes closed. So even the Stanley Weston magazines are hinting and talking about the fact that Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart was a possibility to take place. And again, I'm glad it didn't. Because like I said, Bret Hart would have mopped the floor with him in the popularity contest, hands down. Last but not least is this magazine. It's from August 1994. Yoko rules. Yokozuna, the greatest Federation champion ever? With a question mark. August 1994, and Hulk Hogan is on the cover of a WWF magazine. You're probably wondering why. Well, it's really simple. Hulk Hogan had just signed with World Championship Wrestling. He was going to be the WCW World Champion. So why not make the magazine cover of your company showing that champion on his back getting destroyed by your former champion, Yokozuna? Makes perfect sense to me. And I believe this was at the King of the Ring, because I don't really know when else they would have had a match that was like recorded with pictures and videotape. So that had to be from King of the Ring 93, this one here. All right, guys. That was WrestleMania 9. It was held outside in a parking lot in Las Vegas, Nevada. They say Caesar's Palace, but yes, it was still the parking lot at Caesar's Palace. I mean, it was a cool look, don't get me wrong. The outside look of it, the outdoor venue, the way the wind would blow, and you'd see like Shawn Michaels, for example, his hair blowing in the wind. You can't get that in an arena or stadium. You saw the debut of Luna Vachon at WrestleMania 9. You saw 2 Doinks appear at WrestleMania 9. And you got to see Bob Backlund finally appear at a WrestleMania, though he lost to Razor Ramon. You saw Lex Luger make his WrestleMania debut, the Steiner brothers make their WrestleMania debut, even Giant Gonzalez having a WrestleMania debut. And boy, imagine if Giant Gonzalez had beaten Undertaker at that event. The streak would have definitely never taken place, that's for sure. But, like I said, the one thing I think that should have changed that didn't was Hulk Hogan and Bruce Beefcake. They should have won the tag titles from Money Incorporated. Money Inc. were good. Great tag team. Like, still to this day, one of my most favorite tag teams to watch from that era of wrestling. And the fact that the Nasty Boys left their spot to Hogan and Beefcake, I mean, the Nasty Boys got screwed in this too. They didn't get their tag title opportunity at WrestleMania. Hogan and Beefcake did, and they squandered it. And then Hogan goes out and wins the title at the end of the night. Oh, what was Vince McMahon thinking? Really, like, seriously. Anyways, that was WrestleMania 9. There's not really much else to show or talk about with it, because the matches aren't like, real newsworthy to talk about. They're good, but I can't think of any one match in particular on that show that I'm going to tell you have to watch this right now immediately. The closest match might be the Steiner brothers against the Head Shrinkers. That was pretty cool. That was kind of like really cool, actually. They like pretty much brawled and fought pretty hard. Like, it was hard hitting. So maybe that match, if you're going to watch a match. But it tried to recreate the old magic of the Hulk Hogan era for WrestleMania 9, but the wrestling fans just weren't having it. And the end result, it should have been one of two things. Yokozuna should have won the WWF title and left WrestleMania as champion, or Bret Hart should have retained it and left the fans be all happy knowing the Hitman was still champion. So that's it. That's WrestleMania 9. So let me know what you guys think of WrestleMania 9. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you actually go back and watch it? Or is it a kind of a forgettable event? Like I said, for me, I don't mind it. I can take it or leave it. But I don't go out of my way to watch it. But if it was, I don't know, up on the WWE vault in like a special of like, here's WrestleMania 9, I'd probably put it on and, for something to do if I'm bored. So yeah, WrestleMania 9, the amazing outdoor event in Las Vegas, Nevada. Where the WWE will be this year for their WrestleMania is at Las Vegas, Nevada. So maybe they should just do it in Caesar's Palace outside in front of, I don't know, 9,000 fans. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad you guys like the other ones. I see a lot of comments, a lot of reaction to it. I think this is cool that you guys are digging these. I know I'm digging doing them as well. Thought I'd do one tonight. Get one out on YouTube, because probably won't be able to get another one out until maybe Monday night or Tuesday. So, yeah, this is my video for today, WrestleMania 9, the history of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you want. Tell me what you liked about it, what you hated, or if you have no idea about this event at all, never watched it. That works too. All right, guys, until I do my next one, I'll talk to you later.